feel like you're like totally rocking Duolingo, crushing it. Then you try to actually like order a coffee, suddenly, poof, brain's gone, nowhere to be found.
Right. It's so common, though.
It's the worst. But that's what we're diving into today, that frustrating gap between understanding English and, actually speaking it.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? It's often not even that people don't know enough English.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
It's like you can have all the grammar rules memorized, tons of vocab, but then accessing it all in a real conversation, different story.
Totally. Hold on. I need an analogy for this. Like, okay, I can explain how a combustion engine works, right? All the parts, the process.
Right.
Doesn't mean I'm out there winning any Formula One races.
Exactly. And thankfully, the source we're looking at today, this English tutor, super experienced, they break down this whole problem.
Okay, good. Because I am ready to ditch the whole deer in the headlights routine and actually, like, speak already.
Yeah.
So lay it on me. What's the secret?
Well, they say straight up, fluency. It's not just the information in our brains, right? It's how our brains are trained to use it. Like, it's got to become instinct, almost like a reflex.
Okay, reflex. I like that.
Yeah.
So not just knowing the rules, but making it automatic. Yeah.
Exactly. And this tutor, they've got this 4-step system to do just that.
All right, hit me with step 1. Let's do this.
Step 1 is all about what they call the, get ready for it, the everything notebook.
Okay.
Basically, imagine a notebook, right? But divided into sections. Each one is for like a common conversation topic. So you could have hobbies.
Hobbies, okay?
Work, travel, food, whatever comes up in your life regularly.
Okay, I'm already feeling more organized just picturing this thing.
Right. And then here's the key. Every time you learn a new word or phrase, anytime, and it relates to one of your topics.
Jot it down. Gotcha.
You got it. So it's like you're building up your own personalized language toolkit, organized and ready to go.
So say I learned the phrase avid reader. We were talking about books earlier that goes under hobbies. Yeah.
You got it. See, this is what's so cool. By doing this, your brain isn't trying to like invent sentences from scratch in the moment.
Oh, tell me about it. That's when I freeze up.
Exactly. But now it's like having a cheat sheet right at hand because you've pre-organized it all.
Okay, I'm liking this so far. So much less pressure. But then what? We've got this beautiful notebook full of words. Now what?
That's where step 2 comes in, and this is where this tutor's method gets really interesting, I think.
Oh, do tell.
So they say, before you even worry about speaking, practice writing.
Wait, writing? I thought we were trying to get better at, like, talking.
We are. But here's the thing. When you write, you've got that time to think things through.
True.
The grammar, the exact words, all the stuff our brains love to like short circuit over during a live conversation.
Oh, 100%. I get you.
Right. So it's like a rehearsal, but on paper.
I like that. You can experiment, mess up. No one's judging you for, like, a misplaced comma or whatever.
Exactly. Plus, the source actually mentions this website. It's called aztec.com.
Yeah.
And it can help you take your writing even further. So instead of just, I like movies, you could say, I'm a huge fan of independent cinema with a quirky sense of humor.
Wow. Okay, level up.
Right. It's all about finding those more advanced words and phrases.
So Aztec helps you do that. Find that next level.
Yeah. The tutors even said one of their students used it to get ready for a job interview, actually.
Oh, wow. High stakes.
Right. They were having trouble explaining their experience well, but after using this website, boom, talking about their proven track record and passion for collaborative problem solving.
Okay, fancy.
Right. But that's the point. It's those little nuances that make you sound so much more fluent.
Totally. Like having a secret weapon, but for,
That's it.
vocabulary. Okay, so we've got our notebook. We're writing up a storm. What's next on this fluency journey?
Okay, so this is where we go from like individual words, right, to whole chunks of language.
Ooh, bring on the chunks.
Right. So this tutor calls these prefabricated phrases.
Prefabricated phrases. I like it. Efficient.
Exactly. And, linguists, they love a good jargony term. So they call this formulaic language.
Okay, got to add formulaic language to my notebook. But seriously, break down prefabricated phrases for me.
Okay, so think of it like this. Even native speakers, we don't like reinvent the wheel every time we talk, right?
True.
There are these phrases we use constantly, especially in common situations like nice to meet you or what's your take on this? They're like linguistic shortcuts.
Okay, so instead of stressing over every single word, we've got these ready-made phrases boom, ready to go.
Exactly. And remember all that writing practice we talked about?
Yeah.
Now you go back through it and you look for those phrases, the ones that sound natural, that you could actually see yourself saying. Those are your prefabricated gems.
So like with the avid reader example from before, instead of I like books, I could say I'm an avid reader, especially of biographies and historical fiction.
Here you go. You're getting it.
Bam. Fluency on a whole other level.
Exactly. And what's cool is as you get comfortable, you can start remixing these phrases, right?
Oh, it's
Adapting them to new situations. It's not about like memorizing a script. It's more about understanding how the language flows.
Oh, I see. So you're learning the patterns, the building blocks. It's like, it's like learning to cook.
Yes. Perfect analogy.
You start by following recipes exactly, but then
Yeah.
you get confident, you start experimenting, you add your own flair.
Exactly. It's about building fluency, not becoming a walking phrase book robot.
Right, got to have that personal touch. Okay, so what's the final step in this fluency recipe? I'm ready for the big reveal.
Okay, well, this tutor's final tip is a little unconventional.
Oh, I'm intrigued and slightly scared. Lay it on me.
They recommend talking to yourself.
Wait, for real? Like full-on conversations in the mirror. Should I warn my family?
I know it sounds a little out there, but think about it. It's like giving a presentation, right? But to an empty room.
Okay, I've totally done that. Felt ridiculous, but it helped.
Exactly. It helps you work out the kinks before the real deal.
Right. Practice run. But how does that translate to, like, speaking English better?
Because when you're acting out conversations, using your notebook topics.
Right.
Walking around, showering.
Or, chatting with my reflection.
Hey, whatever works. You're simulating real-world talking. Your brain's getting used to pulling out those phrases quickly without pressure.
So it's like a low-stakes practice zone for my English. I can mess up, stumble, and the only judge is
Well,
me.
you got it.
And let's be honest, I am way too hard on myself anyway, so... but this actually works, like, for real.
It really does. It might feel weird at first, but the more you do it, the easier those real conversations get because you're training your brain to see speaking English not as this high-pressure thing, but just like a normal thing. Enjoyable, even.
It's like practice makes perfect or whatever. But in this case, you don't have to wait to practice.
Right. You're not waiting for the perfect moment or conversation partner anymore. You're in control.
I love that. Okay, but this has been a lot of info, so
It's like,
let's recap the steps, so everyone listening can actually unlock their English fluency after today's deep dive.
love it. All right, so step one, it all starts with that everything notebook, organized by topic, right?
Yes. Step 2, we're not just jotting down words, we're using them. Practice writing, getting those sentences flowing. And hey, Aztec.com if you need a little boost.
Exactly, which leads perfectly into step 3, those prefabricated phrases. Go back through your writing, find the good stuff, the natural-sounding bits.
Your secret stash of fluency. And then the grand finale. Step 4, this is the one that might have thrown some people off.
Maybe a little bit, but hey, it works. Talk to yourself.
Embrace the inner monologue. It's like having a personal English coach, but way cheaper. And honestly, what I love about this whole system, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress.
100%. This is for everyone, no matter what level you're at, what your learning style is.
It's adaptable. You can make it your own. Okay, so before we wrap up completely, I think it'd be cool to leave everyone with a little something to think about.
I like where you're going with this.
So to everyone listening, what's one conversation topic you're going to start building your fluency notebook around?
Yeah.
Like, what are you actually interested in talking about more?
Such a good question. Because that's the thing. When you're passionate about something, when it's relevant to your life.
That's what makes it stick.
Yeah.
And it's actually fun to learn.
Exactly. So go forth and build that fluency. One conversation, one mirror pep talk, whatever works. You got this.
Couldn't have said it better myself.